You okay then?
Hmm?
You okay?
Fine. Okay. You are good?
Yes, we're good.
Thank you very much. I have, on the request of Kenyans, decided to say one or two things as to what is happening in the country before I depart for London, where I'm scheduled to have some meetings. And as I leave, I do share the pain of Kenyans. Kenya is staring at a serious crisis arising from the new prices of petrol, diesel that have been announced yesterday. And the ripple effect of what has happened is that starting tomorrow, matatus will increase their fares, buses will increase their fares, border riders will increase their charges because most industries use diesel. Consumer products will go up, and Kenyans in anguish. As we speak, many roads are empty. Kenyans are not able to fuel their vehicles, and we are staring at a national crisis, and things are very bad. And what we must tell the people of Kenya, the crisis that we face of increased prices for fuel has nothing to do with international challenges. It has nothing to do with the war in Iran. It has nothing to do with increased oil prices in the world. As I said the last time I talked about fuel, the crisis that we face is one of state capture and conflict of interest, where President William Ruto and Gulf Energy are the ones doing the business of fuel importation, and they have topped up too much profit to fleece the people of Kenya. The challenge that we face today has nothing to do with international prices, because when you look at the neighboring East African countries who are importing oil from the same source in the Middle East, their prices are down. Why the prices here are up is because President William Ruto, his business partners, Gulf Energy, are taking too much profit to fleece the people of Kenya. If you look at the comparison, today as we speak, in Kenya, petrol is 214 Kenya shillings. Diesel is 243 Kenya shillings. Our neighbors here in Uganda, who bring their fuel through Kenya from Mombasa by road, which means their fuel is supposed to be higher than Kenya's. A liter of petrol in Uganda is 188 Kenya shillings. A liter of diesel in Uganda is 181 Kenya shillings. If you look at Rwanda, a liter of petrol in Rwanda is 175 Kenya shillings. A liter of diesel in Rwanda is 171 Kenya shillings. Our neighbors here in Tanzania, a little bit higher, but way below Kenya. A liter of petrol in Tanzania is 204 Kenya shillings, while a liter of diesel is 210 Kenya shillings. In Ethiopia, a liter of petrol is 138 Kenya shillings, while that of diesel is 149. That tells you clearly that this problem is not international. Our neighbors are getting fuel from the same source, and their fuel is supposed to be cheaper than ours because their fuel comes through Kenya, and they have to pay extra money to get tankers from Mombasa through Nairobi to Kampala, through Nairobi to Rwanda. So what we're having as a problem in Kenya is where the president of the country is a businessman who doesn't care about his people and has decided to make profit out of his people. And that is the crisis that we are facing. And I must also say that this G to G arrangement is a fraud. We had been told when I was in government that it was supposed to regularize prices and cushion the people of Kenya from sporadic changes in pricing system. But the price keeps on going high. And what is annoying is that the fuel that is in the market today is of low quality. You remember the Minister of Trade and the Kenya Bureau of Standards announced to the people of Kenya that they have allowed the importation of fuel with 50 milligrams per liter of sulfur. This is very cheap fuel. Instead of this fuel going down, we would have expected, because the government has compromised on standards and brought fuel with a lot of sulfur, which is dangerous because sulfur, when it is exposed to the environment, turns into sulfuric acid, and that is not good for our engines. All these cars that are using this fuel, in the next 5-6 months, they'll start having what you call a slow knock in the engine. And if you push them more, they'll have a full knock. So we would have expected that this is cheap fuel, very low quality fuel, that has serious implications to the efficiency of our vehicles. There will be a lower price. But instead, because William Ruto is making money, the fuel has gone up. I have received information that this profit that the president and his partners are making from increased fuel prices has been used to purchase tallow oil in Turkana at $120 million US. And that is approximately 15.6 billion Kenya shillings. That is why they are in a haste to buy, to increase prices, to make more profit, to be able to buy tallow oil that is in Turkana. And we have also been told, and we have confirmed, that Gulf Energy have created a fake debt with the owners, with the previous owners, who were forced to sell tallow oil to William Ruto and his partners. They were literally forced out of the country. They created a fake debt of $2.5 billion US. And the arrangement is that once this fuel goes to the market, 1 barrel of oil from Turkana will go for $100. And $85 out of that $100 will go towards paying this fake debt. We are left with $15. Those $15, the national government will take 60%, the county government of Turkana will take 40%. There is nothing for the community. There is nothing for the Turkana people. I am tonight urging the people of Turkana to say no. The way the people of Ilkoromani in Kakamega refused their gold to be extracted without their consent, without them gaining, without them being stakeholders. The people of Turkana cannot allow William Ruto and Gulf Energy to take their oil and give them nothing. This oil they were given free by God to help them improve their lives. This oil in Turkana is sufficient. The proceeds from that oil is sufficient to transform lives, to build schools, to build roads, to connect electricity, to get water for domestic purposes, water for animals, and water for irrigation. In fact, the proceeds from this oil can change Turkana to be like Dubai, which would be a high area of food production using technology and other modern farming techniques that will be funded from the money from this oil. The people of Turkana cannot allow William Ruto and Gulf Energy to rob them, to steal their God-given natural resource, oil, and leave them with nothing. That is something that they must be able to do. So as I depart, I have discussed with my colleagues, and we are saying this situation cannot be allowed to happen. Fred Matiang'i and Kalonzo Musyoka were away in Kisii for a funeral. Eugene Wamalwa was away in Kakamega for a petition because of Malava by-election. And since I'm leaving, we could not be able to have a meeting. We have agreed we'll have a Zoom meeting tomorrow so that we agree on the way forward, because we cannot allow this situation. William Ruto, through unreasonable taxation, theft of public funds, have impoverished payslip holders. He has raided the payslip. Payslip holders have nothing. Now this fuel increase now is going to cripple business people. It is targeting the transport sector. It's targeting the manufacturing sector. It is targeting consumers. Prices of food will go up. Prices of consumer items will go up. This situation cannot be allowed to continue. So we are going to have a discussion tomorrow. And because of the crisis that we have, because of the pressure that I have received from the people of Kenya, I was supposed to go for 1 month in the United Kingdom for a series of activities, but I have no other way. I have to cut short. I will not be long. I will take 5 to 6 days. I must come back because we cannot leave the country when the people of Kenya are in trouble, when the people of Kenya are struggling, when people of Kenya cannot move, when prices of fare is going to be hiked. I must be able to come and do what I need to do. It's my civic duty to be able to fight for the people of Kenya. Much as I would have wanted to go to the UK to market my party, the DCP, to be able to have party activities and other things that I had lined up, I'll only be able to go for a week, and then I'll have to come back so that I join my colleagues, so that we consult the people of Kenya, and we decide what to do. If we have to take to the streets, so be it. If we have to say, let the transport sector stop until these matters are addressed, we must do so. And we told William Ruto, remove VAT to 0. He has refused. We told him, take away 7 shillings of the fuel levy that you loaded, that you are using to borrow money. He has refused. We have asked him to surrender the profit he is making from the G2G arrangement, and he has refused. So where we have reached, we simply have to force him. It has reached a point that we are talking to a stone. The more we talk to him, the more is his appetite for public funds. The more is his appetite to fleece the people of Kenya. We have never seen, since the history of independence, a president competing with the Kenyans who do business. This is a president who has taken over all sectors: insurance, banking, hospitality, banking, matatu industry, fuel. He is in every business, and businessmen are suffering because he has a very serious advantage, because he is in charge of policy, and he is making policies that are giving him an advantage to compete with the other people of Kenya. So this is very sad, and that is what I wanted to say. And finally, we want to take this opportunity on behalf of the people of Kenya, apologize to the delegates who came to the France-Africa Summit because of the humiliation and the mistreatment they found at KICC, where very, very serious people, like the CEO of Total, was humiliated and embarrassed. You know, a CEO having a company that has 3, 4, 5 times. There is no protocol, there is nothing. So our country is embarrassed internationally. And you know what is happening, why we have a big problem with protocol. When President William took over, there were very serious protocol officers who have a lot of experience, who were working under President Uhuru Kenyatta. And he had a problem with them simply because of where they come from. And he removed them. And there is no problem by removing people you are uncomfortable with. But you receptionist, a waiter who was serving us tea at the current residence, she is called Chebet from his community, and she's a relative. That is why the whole protocol is in shambles. We are so embarrassed as a country. How do you get a tea girl and tell her she's the chief government receptionist to be in charge of protocol for the government? That is the crisis that we face as a country. And we are very embarrassed. So we like to ask the CEO of Total, please accept our apologies as a country. The people of Kenya have, did not intend to embarrass you, to humiliate you. It's simply that we have a dysfunctional government that has brought relatives and tribesmen to be in charge of dockets where they have no capacity. That is the crisis that we face as a country. Thank you very much.
And just one more question, Party Leader. The last time, the first fuel hike, I remember at SAM Center, the United Opposition gave a 7-year ultimatum, and then it was followed up by a consultative meeting. But Kenyans were in high spirits that the United Opposition will take a very firm stand.
Yes.
A section of Kenyans took to the streets, and some of them complained that they were abandoned by the United Opposition, which called the protests. What will happen this time?
Thank you very much. First, we did not call Kenyans to go to the street. Those who went to the streets went on their own volition. And we are a responsible alternative government. We don't want to go into the streets the way Raila used to do. The late Right Honorable Raila Odinga would call protests. 2-3 days, he would sit down with the government, and they are called off, and he is absorbed into government. And life goes on. We are very conscious that we don't want to call people to the streets in futility. What we want and what we are planning is that when we call people to the streets, there must be fruits. There must be fruitation. When we go to the streets, we will not come back until the demands are met. And we did agree as a united alternative government that it was not just about fuel. We have so many other issues. The dignity of the person, the unavoidable housing, the use of pension funds to build roads, the extrajudicial killing, the abductions, voter bribery, the issue of IBC. So we did agree that we want to harness all the issues that are a concern to the people of Kenya, so that when we call for mass action, it will not be done in a day or two and then we go back. It will be done for a week, for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, for 4 weeks, for as long as it takes until the demands are met. We were also persuaded that we needed also to engage with the other stakeholders, the agencies and the civil society. And the agencies were telling us, if we could wait a little bit, we harmonize the mass action to coincide with the anniversary of the agency on the June 25th. And from the way I can see, unless things really get out of hand, I think that is the best route to take, so that we harmonize all the issues that Kenyans have a problem with. We get all the stakeholders, the agencies included, who are actually very effective and with a proven track record of succeeding in terms of mass action, and we get the alternative government, the agencies, and all Kenyans of goodwill together. But in view of what has happened, in view of the hardships Kenyans are facing out of these fuel hikes, I think when we have a Zoom meeting tomorrow, we may have to review that position, and then we inform the people of Kenya. But we did not want to take the people of Kenya to the streets the way it has been done before. People are killed, people are maimed, property is destroyed, then we go and sit with Ruto and negotiate for positions in government. I think people have been very unfair to the people of Kenya. I don't think I can ever be party to such a kind of an arrangement where we take people to the streets so that we can ask the government to absorb us in government. We are not interested. When we do call for mass action, it must have an end game. Where does it end? It must end where the government gives in to the demands that we're going to lay before it on behalf of the people of Kenya.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Two quick questions. The first one, I'm Stanley Nyarigita, TV47. The first one, in a previous speech, you said that you should UK meeting partners as well as friends just to mobilize for the party. Can you tell us who you might be and who you're going to be meeting? The second one.
But if I announce it here, my opponents will know, and then they'll start circumventing what I'm trying to do. You can't tell people who you are partners, who are your friends. That I can't.
Okay. The second one, following the recent by-elections on DCP's results, what is your take?
Well, DCP is a party of the moment, a party of the future. We raided Ruto's perceived bedroom, the Kipsigis nation. I saw the senator of Nandi saying we cannot even get 10-15%. We were there. We gave William Ruto a run for his money. His perceived stronghold. DCP landed there authoritatively and caused a storm. Our candidate got nearly 11,000 votes. That is no mean feat. This is a new party. It's 1 year old today. UDA has been there for 5 years. It's the government in power. And you can see the party of UDA is on decline. DCP is on the ascendancy. And I can tell you, arising from that by-election, we have so many people in Kericho, so many people in Bomet, so many people in Nandi, so many people in Baringo, so many people in Uasin Gishu who want now to run. Because they are saying Ruto and his friends will never give them fair chance in UDA, and they want to remove them from office. So they have also realized that DCP cannot be bought. DCP cannot be intimidated. is really the party you want to bank on, because once the DCP gives you a ticket, William Ruto cannot intimidate DCP. Even that election, actually we had won. What happened, and it's okay, millions of shillings was released the night before in 2 wards, one called Ikiring, one called Magodo, where our candidates were very strong. Door to door, 5,000 per voter. And people having problems, a few of them shifted. We lost almost 7,000 votes from that voter bribery. But the beauty of it is, you can bribe people in a by-election. You cannot bribe people in a general election. That is why we are not worried about the way William Ruto is bribing voters in by-elections to show that he is ahead. We know that there is no way you can bribe voters in a general election. Everybody will be busy. There will be governors, there will be senators, there will be MPs, there will be MCAs. The competition will be very, very strong and having so many players. And even William Ruto will also be in trouble elsewhere in the country. I don't think he'll have time to go and put money in Emurua Dikir. So we think we have done very well. I want to thank the people of Emurua Dikir. I want to really commend our candidate, Vincent Rotich, and the women campaigners who are campaigning at night. I really admire those women. I wish all our women can be like that. I want to say they have done very well. It's a victory for democracy. It's a victory for those who cannot agree to be intimidated. DCP is the party of the present and the future, the party that will form the next government and the party that will have the majority both in the National Assembly, the Senate, and all the county assemblies in Kenya. It's one of the issues we are going to raise on the issues we are going to have when we go to the streets. IBC is totally biased, and they have allowed a lot of violence. They have allowed voter bribery. They have allowed public officers to participate in voter bribery and campaigning against electoral rules. IBC is one of the issues we're going to discuss. Asanteni sana.
Thank you.
Asante. Haya, mchunge nyumbani.
Kuna mtu alinipatia akapotea. Nitaenda na mic bwana.
Ndio mzee.